Hello.
Looks as though we lost Sue.
How did this happen?
At least Kayla was the co-host, or we would have been dropped altogether.
She's back. Okay, we are recording and we are on live stream. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Kingston Tree Commission meeting. Today is September 14th, 2021. My name is Suzanne Cahill, Planning Director for the City of Kingston and the organizer for this virtual meeting. Before we begin our meeting, I would like to go over a few guidelines to help navigate the system as efficiently and respectfully as possible. We ask that any members of the public and press remain muted and off camera for the length of the meeting. As the organizer, I reserve the right to mute anyone who unmutes themselves. Commission members and city staff will control their own mute button. Good practice, we ask that you mute yourself if you are not speaking to avoid background noise and feedback. If a commission member or staff wishes to speak, they will raise their hand. As the organizer, will call on them before they speak by stating their name clearly for our audio listeners. The commission member will then unmute themselves, state their name, and speak clearly, muting after finished. All meetings are recorded. Both video and written transcriptions will be made available to the public on the city website at a later date. We are also live streaming this meeting over the city's YouTube channel. If you have any audio issues, please send a text message to the following number, 845-443-0416. Please be aware that phone calls will not be answered during the meeting. The number again to text is 845-443-0416. I want to thank you for your patience, and we will now begin our meeting at 3:35 p.m. And I am going to just call the membership. And if you just would raise your hand and say here after I call your name. Vince Archer.
Here.
Tebby Collins. Can you just say here, Tebby? You got to unmute. You need to unmute.
Here.
Thank you. Amanda O'Neill.
Here.
Corinne Dutil.
Here.
Evan Kang.
Here.
We also have obviously myself, Suzanne Cahill, the planning director, and Kyla D-Day is with us. She is the assistant planner. Okay, hold on. Okay, so our first order of business is 254 West Chestnut Street. And I do know that Arlene Kowalski is on the line with us. She is one of the owners of that property. Everyone has received a copy of the information that went out from the DPW. Have you had an opportunity to look at that, everybody? Okay. Do you have any questions? The DPW first went to this property as a result of a fallen limb on the street. Once they were there, they did the cleanup. They noticed the condition of the tree and they notified our office asking or identifying it as a dangerous tree and asking it to go to the tree commission. In further review of the not only this tree, but other trees along the street, the DPW has done some of the trimming, but they are also concerned with the second tree on the property. So I know that Arlene, I don't know, do you want to offer any thoughts, Arlene, as the property owner? Arlene, can you hear me? She's not showing as muted. Arlene? Okay, well, hopefully she will be able to connect with her audio. Do any commission members have any thoughts on this this issue? The one tree, as you can see by the photograph of the limb that fell, that limb was obviously severely deteriorated and rotted on the interior as well. I think that tree is an issue. I don't know what your thoughts are on, both trees, requiring both trees to come down. If you read Ryan's thoughts, he is concerned with both of them. He thinks they're both being the same age. They seem to be showing a lot of the same issues.
Hello?
Oh, hi, Arlene. Yes.
Oh, finally.
Yes. Okay. I was just going through the little bit of the history. Do you want to say a few words, Arlene? All of the commission members are here with us.
Okay, sorry for the delay. We were having trouble trying to connect to you. We're actually on the road.
Oh, okay.
So, I know, do you want to tell the history? All right, when we went to the house, we saw that it was, the trees were actually cut. This was back in, I think, July. Was that when this started? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. So we noticed that the tree was kind of butchered to get it away from the lines.
Okay.
And they have one branch just going over, so it looked like the whole tree was like dying after they cut it up and all.
Okay. Well, I know that our DPW didn't go there until the end of August. And that's when they noticed, they were called there because of the limb that had fallen on the street. And that's when they noticed all of the trees along the street, and they were going to then go back and do some trimming. So whomever might have done that before, could have been Central Hudson. I don't know. I don't have any documentation of that earlier.
Right. Well, that's what we were trying to figure out, who did it. Because we're not in the house all the time and it's not rented or anything to that effect. So we're just trying to figure out, it looks pretty bad, both trees, but we thought that the city would be taking care of it since it's near those wires.
Right. Now, as I explained to you earlier today, the street trees are the responsibility of the abutting property owners. And looking at the photographs of the limb that came down, I would have to say, and George, you may want to chime in, Corrine, maybe you as the professionals here. I would have to say that any prior trimming maybe a month earlier wouldn't have affected a tree that dramatically in such a short time. That was severely deteriorated. That had to be quite a long time coming.
Right.
Yeah. Also, that's the tree that.
Right, that's the limb down.
Right. And did that fall from the first or the second tree?
That fell from the first tree. That's the one that the DPW got the call on.
Can I just clarify something? But the first tree, is that looking at the house on the right side from the street? Like what are you considering the first tree and the second tree?
That tree right there, well, that Kyla's got her, yes.
The one
Side-
closest to the
handover.
garage? The one closest to the garage is the first tree?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So now we can see it. It's that one
Mm,
closest to the garage. The
Mhm.
other one is over here.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're talking about the first tree.
Right.
Um, I'm not sure what we can add to this.
Is taking up the street.
I don't know. What did you want me to say about this?
Well, I mean, I know that we had a conversation and, obviously, you had thought that it was the responsibility of the city and we talked about that a lot today. I gave you some other options potentially. Tebby, you're on right now. Has the Memorial Tree Fund awarded all of the monies for that they were going to offer as assistance for removals as far as this calendar year goes yet? I know they did one.
Yeah, I think we've only done one that I'm aware of, and I'm the one that's supposed to be passing that along to the commission, the tree fund. So I can double check on that, but I think we would still have some more funds for something like this.
Oh, that
Okay.
would be helpful.
Okay, so that would be a little bit of assistance.
Yeah, it's up
financially.
to 750 to help remove a tree.
Mhm.
And then I think we also have some additional money to replace a tree.
All right.
And we can, if you contact me, I can get that information to you via email to fill out the form to apply for the grant.
Okay, so I'm ready to take it down now.
Was
You can
that
give
the
it to
one that
me.
she gave her?
Where does the email go to?
Okay, my email is elcollins82
EL.
Collins double L?
COLLINS 82 @gmail.com. And if you just send me an email asking about the Memorial Tree Fund grant, I will send you the paperwork. It's very simple to fill out.
Okay.
All right, so it's E like Edward, L like Larry, COW.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I missed the last part. CO2Ls INS 82 @gmail.com.
Right, it begins with EL before Collins.
Yes,
Okay.
EL. That's my first name, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Okay,
And it's for the memorial.
Memorial.
Memorial Tree Fund grant.
Okay. So that then could be applied for both trees? Since-
I'd have to check on that. It could. The bottom line is you would have to pay for it first and then send us the receipt, the paid receipt, and then you know what? I'll send you the information. I can't remember. You have to pay for it. You have to show that the work has been done, and then we will reimburse you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hi.
we just lost you.
I am
Sorry.
sorry, we're calling from the phone and a call just came in at the wrong
From
time.
845 area code.
So
Okay,
I had asked about 2 trees, if it would be for 2 trees, and we would have to fill out the application
Right.
right.
after the trees were taken care of.
Fill out the application. I would fill out the application right away, but you
Okay.
won't be reimbursed until the work is done.
Right.
Okay.
So that means the tree has to come down plus what do they do with that shredding?
I'll
Which
send you all the information. I will send you all the information which explains how it works.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. So the commission with the directive to do the removal, just so you're aware, Arlene, we would include the normal standards that you obtain the permit from the DPW, that the sidewalk, pedestrian traffic and vehicular traffic have to be protected, which is, during the course of the work. All of the debris would have to be removed and disposed of properly. And that the stump would have to be ground just below grade to avoid a tripping hazard. So that what is left would be, a smooth surface.
Okay.
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 Yes, that's what we were trying to figure out, the grinding one.
Right.
All right, so so
Okay.
we still have to get a permit, even though you're telling us we got to take it down, we still need a permit.
Right. DPW you'll be required to get a permit from DPW. Most of the tree services and contractors in the area are very familiar with the process, because they provide insurance coverage, and a lot of them already have it on file with the Department of Public Works. They just maintain a policy with them. So when they go in for their permits, it's already on record.
Do you have a list of those people?
DPW would probably have a list of who they have on file. Yeah.
Is DPW there? Aren't they part of this call?
They are not on this call today. Ryan Kuhn is the assistant superintendent. He's advisory to the commission, but he is not on the call today.
Okay. So DPW would have the list.
They should. I can't guarantee it, but the office might. Yes.
Okay, so we get the permit, not the tree company.
No,
That depends on how you arrange it. I mean, the tree
Oh,
company
okay.
would get the permit on your behalf. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's how you organize your contract with them.
Right. All right, so it's got to come down.
Right. I would say I'm going to ask for a motion from one of the commissioners, to make that motion on removal of one or both of the trees with all of these standard stipulations and conditions.
Okay, and then how long do we have?
There is no formal time period. But as I had said earlier to you on the phone, once you are put on notice, hopefully nothing, will happen. So obviously we would like you to address the matter, as quickly as you possibly can.
So we obviously get a copy of this, right? And this letter goes out relatively quickly. Do you?
The decision letter from us, yes, it'll go out, if not, this week, the beginning of next week, but I'll try and get yours out quickly for you.
And you can email it because we're not there.
I will email it. Yes, I got your email today.
Okay.
What else?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing we can do about this. So, other than, hopefully getting reimbursed at least partial.
Right.
And so we'll follow through with what Elizabeth sends us.
Okay.
And we're not gonna be there for a month.
Yeah, and this can't happen right away because we're not there right now. We're not
Okay.
in New York, actually, right now, so, because it would have to take, at least a month and a half.
Yeah,
to-
the end of October.
Yeah,
Okay, well, you're gonna want to, get pricing and all that too. I understand that. Okay,
Right.
can I get a motion from one of my commissioners on this?
I have a question,
Yes,
just to clarify. So the first tree, that's the tree that looks like a branch was sawn off, and that's the one that was totally rotten.
correct.
Okay, and are we voting on one tree or just two or both trees at the same time?
One or but both. I would vote on both. They're both considered pretty much the same condition. The
So,
one was the one that identified the situation.
so Ryan is saying he thinks both are diseased and both
Correct.
come down. I mean, they're obviously both leaning
Yeah.
and they're both hacked up, so.
Yeah.
So I need a motion.
I give a motion to remove both of the trees on West Chestnut with the standard steps in place where, over time, they would consider to replant 2 trees and ground the stump down, etc.
Okay. Can I have a second on that, please?
I second it.
Okay, second by Vince. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion
Aye.
carried.
can I just ask something else?
Clarify.
Yes,
So you were talking just now about replanting 2 trees. Now, you have the grant to do that, right?
correct. And that's a simple application. I will make a note to send email copy of that when I send you the email. I'll attach a copy of that as well.
Okay,
And it's a simple application that you complete and you get on our listing. Okay?
Okay.
okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, I'm glad we got
Finally
to
got
find
it.
out about this.
Right.
So now we can hang up?
No, you're done. Unless you want to hang out.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right,
So we're
bye-bye.
gonna move on now to 220 Tremper Avenue. Has everybody, I don't see anyone on the line for that one. Has everybody had an opportunity to take a look? Again, this is another tree that was identified by our DPW as being a problem and unsafe, and recommending that it get taken down. Are there any questions from the board or the commission members rather?
No, it seems like the line is going straight into the middle of the tree.
Right.
And like the tree is gonna grow, like it's gonna grow around it. It looks like super dangerous and it doesn't look really healthy at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead wood in the tree as well.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is when we do take these trees down, obviously we can't replant in the same location, but I might attach the planting forms if there's another spot. I don't know about this particular property. If there is another space to plant a tree, it's a narrow lot, but it might be a way to get word out to some of their neighbors, possibly, that we do have this program for planting coming up, and we are looking for, locations. So for this tree, can I get a motion on this one?
So again, one question,
Yeah, yeah.
just to be sure, So Ryan is saying this one's diseased also. I mean, I can't really tell. There are some yellow leaves, but my leaves are starting to go yellow and I don't know when the picture was taken. So he's saying it
This
obviously has a
was-
lot of dead limbs and
Yeah. In the packet, it says, in the packet, his message has the tree stands in front of 220 Trumper, was on our watch list and is now beyond the point of being saved. The tree is
Okay.
dying and posing a danger to anyone within its reach. Those are from Ryan. That's it from Ryan.
okay. So I will make the motion that this tree, we recommend the tree be removed. And obviously it doesn't look to me like there's room in front of that house to replant, but
I
with
don't
all
think
the
that there
standard,
it is. Yeah.
with all the standard conditions. And if someone else can replant a tree, maybe they can do that. A neighbor.
Yeah.
Obviously the neighbor has some room, but whether they'll do it, I don't know.
Okay. Can I have a second on that motion, please?
I second.
Evan? Okay, Evan, seconded. Any other discussion?
It looks like there's space. If you're facing the house, looks like there's space to the right. I don't know if that's part of his property or the house next door.
Right.
Or maybe we could ask them if they would be interested in a tree.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if we could do something in close proximity when these trees come down, I think.
Right, yes.
Okay. So hearing no more discussion, can I just have a vote on that motion to remove with the standard conditions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Yeah, Susan, can I ask a question?
Yes, George?
It's very hard to tell from photos, so I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'd have to see the places in person. Do you have a cross reference anyway to your tree plan? I mean, like all these should have been. I think it would make it much easier for the committee if you could look up the tree plan and the tree plan would already say, hey, this is, by a arborist, they're saying that this tree will be a problem shortly, I think it would make it a lot easier for you guys to make a decision.
Right, I agree.
But when they
We
did
didn't-
the tree inventory, that was listed
Right.
in the tree inventory.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so if you cross-reference each one of these to the tree inventory, so you're doing that kind of, because that would help.
I did not do that personally this time. No, I did not. I didn't. I don't know if any of the other members referenced the applications with the inventory, but I did not.
Yeah, just asking. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good idea. And
Okay.
personally, I wouldn't know how to cross-reference because I'm not sure just looking at it is going to tell me which tree is which. I'm not sure I really understand how to use the.
So the inventory, you can search by address in the inventory.
Okay.
Okay. And you should, if you don't have the link to that, we will get that for you.
I probably have it somewhere.
Okay. Let us know. So the next one is 57 Liberty Street.
Can I just ask one question?
Yes.
How often is that inventory done?
We did that one in, excuse me, 2018 into 19, I believe. Evan,
That's why it would still be good because it's pretty recent.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
once the trees are removed, and are they going to reflect it on the inventory sheet?
Yes, we're trying to, update that inventory regularly.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Who does that? Is that the DPW or is that you?
It's our office. Kyla is.
Okay. Just curious who actually takes care of that. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I think like maybe for the next session, if you can send the link, to this document, this way we can all kind of like look at it.
Sure.
And that would be
Absolutely.
great. Like for each session,
Okay.
to send it again. Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on. 57 Liberty, we were on. I think it's pretty clear that that tree is completely dead. I need a motion on that one.
I make a motion that the tree at 57 Liberty Street, which is clearly dead, that the committee recommends removal and with the standard conditions.
Can I have a second on that?
I second.
Amanda beat you to it, sorry.
Okay. The thing about this particular tree is, though, it looks like there is some lawn space out front. They could
Right,
plant another tree, so.
This tree on the personal property or is on?
it's very close. We don't really know where the property line is per se, which is why when I talked to Ryan on a phone conversation, he wanted us to at least bring it to the commission because it's close. So, okay, I have a motion and a second to remove the standard conditions. Can I have a vote, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, so moving on. I have 87 Clinton Avenue is next. This one is a tough decision. It's a
Sue.
beautiful tree.
Just so you know, he just called. He's been trying to log on. I just resent him the link, but he's having a problem getting through. So he did try to be here.
Okay, so
Doesn't look like it's-
maybe, why don't we maybe go to a couple of the others and see if he does come on? So we'll go to, how about we do 134 Down Street next? And hopefully the other property owner will come on. Again, this one was another one identified by the DPW as being a problem. It's been dropping limbs routinely. And they've been getting called. I thought we had addressed this one prior to this, but it might be one in close proximity. So DPW is recommending this one be removed. Any questions or comments?
There are two in close proximity. It's 136 or 138 and 134 Down Street. So they're both
Right.
similar proximity.
Yep. They're right next door to each other.
Right.
And he's recommending both.
So both, yeah, removal, I agree.
Any other questions? Okay, can I get a motion for 134 then?
Both the motion to remove the 134 Down Street and the tree on the 134 and the 136 Down Street.
Okay, you want to do them both at the same time? Okay. And can I have a second on that? Karine?
Second.
Okay. And that would be with all the standard conditions. And we are talking about then both trees, the one at 134 and the one at 136 or 138.
136.
Okay, any questions on the motion? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, all motions carried. Okay. He has not, we have that other, the last tree. Okay, he is not hopping on yet. We really don't have much to report on the forestry grant. We are getting a lot, we are getting applications. Yeah, Emily?
I think Amanda raised her hand first.
Oh, Amanda?
I did. The one thing in the email about the sewer in the backyard, I mean, do they think that the roots are tangling something up? That's where I'm
talking about
lost.
87 Clinton Avenue?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that must be covering a big space if it's blocking something.
Yeah.
Did they hire somebody to investigate it, or because like when I bought this house, I had to have my sewer lines inspected with a scope to make sure that there are no roots going into anything out to the road. Have they looked into that to see if that's the cause?
I have not talked to him. Kylie, you spoke with him, right?
Yeah, I didn't see anything about the backyard. Or did you from the photos here?
I
Are
just
we
want
talking
to
about
ask,
80? Yeah.
are you talking about the person who can't get on this call?
Yes.
Why don't you just call him and put him on speaker so he can be represented? Is there any reason why you can't
I
do that?
don't know if I have his phone number.
Okay.
And can I ask about like the blue lines that are tags? Is this like the sewer lines?
I believe it's both sewer and water lines.
So they go like in the tree, basically.
Translate.
Supposedly they run under the tree according to the email. And I think that that's what the spray paint marking must be. But I mean, have they done a scoping test to see that, that is the cause? I don't see anything that's, it sounds like it's presuming this.
Right.
I wouldn't want to say yes to removing the tree if it wasn't the cause of it. It could be completely something different.
This is miscellaneous grant stuff, or do you know where that would go? That's it when you
I'm
responded
trying to call him right now.
Yeah, because the tree looks really good.
Oh, this is Sue's grant.
All right, so I'll give it to her. I don't.
Yeah, underrepresented. That's the one that her and Julie applied for.
Hey, Kyla, do you have the picture of 87 Clinton?
Yes, hold on one second.
They're saying that there's the sewer is backing up and that this is time sensitive and that the tree has to be removed in order to repair it. Well, I don't know who is saying that, the homeowner.
Okay.
But obviously
I
there's
have,
blue paint.
the property owner is on my desk phone. I turned my mic up as loud as you can. Mr. James Clement. Okay, can everybody hear Mr. Clement? Can you speak? Can you hear him?
Yes.
Okay, they can hear you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, do you just want to explain the reason why this tree, you've asked consideration for the removal of this tree?
Yes, because the sewer line is right under the tree, just about, and the water line as well is underneath the tree. And I got rode a ruler, and they put the camera down, and the root of the tree break the pipe. I get Mr. McKay, the plumber, and he said if he tries to dig that and remove it, it's going to be dangerous to the tree, and it might get weakened. So the best bet is to cut the tree down.
Okay. Do any commission members want to ask, did you all understand what Mr. Clement just said?
No, can you repeat it, Sue?
Okay, basically what he said is that he had his plumber, Gary McCabe, went to the location and they had Roto-Rooter there as well. They looked in the pipes. His sewer line is the primary problem. And their concern is that if they do try and replace the line, that they'll do more damage to the tree than they would by other means. The water line, he also said, runs underneath the same tree. Tree is obviously planted in a very poor location, but is there anything else that I missed, Mr. Clement?
No, ma'am, you do. That's very good. Thanks.
Okay.
And so how deep is the pipe buried at this? Just to have an idea, like, is it 6 feet or?
How deep are you? How deep is your lateral at that location, Mr. Clement? Do you know how far below ground it is?
I think that is roughly about 4'6" or better.
About 4'6".
Hmm.
Any of the other commission members have any questions for Mr. Clement? Evan?
So like even we remove the tree, that also means like the stem or the root will need to be removed completely in order to clean out, to make sure like the water line and the sewage line are clear. So like, so is that the case?
Okay, did you hear the question, Mr. Clement? If you do end up, if we approve removing the tree, you're going to have to do more than just grind the stump to below grade. That a lot of the root structure is also going to be required to be removed. So it's actually going to be more of an excavation project than would typically happen under the normal course of activity.
Right, I understand that, yes.
Okay, he understands that, Evan? Okay.
And he
Amanda?
said that there was damage to a cracked pipe. Did I hear him right?
Yes, the
When they did the
damage is
scope?
to just the sewer line, correct, Mr.
Yes, the
Clement?
root break the sewer line, yeah.
Okay, your water line is not being affected at this time though, correct?
No, but it's right underneath the tree as well.
Okay. Did you hear that, Amanda? Okay.
And just like swing it out there, like, is there a way to reroute the new pipes around the tree?
I believe that that's what he had said at the beginning, that he had Roto-Rooter there. And the extent of I guess the root systems that have encroached into the piping, the pipe is severely damaged right now. The way
But
it
I'm
is.
saying, like, if you leave,
Into this pipe.
They put the camera in.
Wait.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Kareem.
No, but I was thinking, like, just leave the damaged pipe the way it is and just turn around the tree and reconnect. You know what I mean? Maybe it would be less expensive to just remove some, you know what I mean? You can.
Oh, I think, okay, so what she's asking is, can the lateral connection actually be relocated to another spot from the main line into your home? So, and then just leave this one and just let it be, disconnect it. Have you looked at that?
No, the plumber just said if he dig next to it like it is right now, it's gonna weaken the tree.
Right, but right, okay, so did the plumber look at another location in front of your house? Like maybe 10 feet over to see if it's possible to connect from a different location and avoid the roots? Did he look at that?
I'm not sure about that. He was.
Yeah, I don't.
And he said that's the best bet.
Yeah. It's a fairly large tree. I don't know that if you tried to connect within 10 feet, you'll probably still hit some of that root structure. I would suspect because of the size. That's my thought. I don't know if anybody else wants to offer any opinion there or comment.
It's also raising up the sidewalk.
What's that?
And he said it's also raising, the root structure is raising up the sidewalk area, which would be completely have to be reset after this work would be done, if we approve it. Any other, Vince, any thoughts? Tebby, any other questions?
I don't know. I mean, the tree looks healthy now, but I don't know whether they can just do the work and then later take the tree down. I don't know. I'm at a little.
Can I just ask?
Sometimes we get the tree down, then it fixes the pipe.
Just a little piece of information is that if it's at about a 4.5 foot depth, the question is would it be excavated like from the surface or would it be tunneled? You know, I guess excavated from the surface is usual, but I just thought I'd ask.
I believe the excavation would have to be from the surface. I don't know that it would be. Yeah, I don't know that you could do it any other way.
Well, because tunneling would basically get under the roots, you know, and,
Yeah.
which is why it's lasted as long as it has, because if that pipe is directly under the tree roots don't go downward. They're basically just been expanding a little bit as they go outward and probably
Right.
hit the pipe. So it's, you know, it might be that the pipe is just old too, but it doesn't really matter. You know, the roots just got bigger. Okay.
Did
Sorry.
DPW have any suggestions, or did they evaluate that as well, or no?
DPW was out there. Let me look and see if I've got.
They took pictures of it.
Right, Ryan took pictures, I know he did, but I don't know if he actually offered a statement.
The email just states that the tree will need, and I don't know if that's coming from his voice or not, will need to be removed for the damages to be repaired.
That's what he told me the other day too, when he was in here. He said that I missed some of that conversation because someone came in, but he said that it has caused sewer backups already and issues with the water and sewer line, and that they looked at relocating the pipe to a different location, and for whatever reason that didn't seem feasible. One of the locations was a shared driveway, and the other location, I think there wasn't any room, I guess, on the other side. He was under the impression that there would not be a way to do the work without taking the tree down. That's what he relayed to me.
Evan?
Normally, I would suggest to plant another tree, but like in that location is particularly not good. And even like we plant a closer, like right next to the, you know, a little bit right next to it, and I don't want to block the entryway, but it's very close to the next tree, the tree next door. So that's why, like, you know, there's no additional like a replacement suggested.
Okay. Any other comments?
I'm just like, this is such a beautiful tree. And I think it's worth a fight, like trying to figure out something else. I was just wondering, like, if there's an excavation that would be done, you know, like from like tunnels, as spoken before, like to give the tree a chance. Maybe, you know, like the root system is developed enough that even if it's amputated of some part, it's still going to be okay. if the work could be done somewhat, even like, kind of like drilling and just removing some of the tree of the root structure. I don't know.
Right. I have not seen the video. If any video was taken, I don't know the extent of the roots that have encroached into the pipe, or I haven't actually seen a photograph to really determine the extent of damage to the pipe. I would imagine the lateral is fairly aged at this point. It's an older home. So that could be, a significant contributing factor, but I don't know. This is a tough one to make a call on, because it is a beautiful tree. I get that. It's hard.
It's such a gorgeous tree, and I feel like maybe there's like a try to be given before we give up on it.
Yeah. Just a comment. Oh, I meant I want to go first. So I think even we try to replace the water and the sewage line underneath, potentially the work might also damage the tree further, like it might damage the tree eventually, unless we are taking it even further to replace it. And I think it just in terms of timing and the cost, and I think that it might relate it to the homeowners, like how much they are willing to spend, and so I think that might be the one thing to consider, because I like the tree, it's really healthy and looks really great.
I don't know what the difference in price would be. Obviously tree removal would not be cheap. And then doing the full excavation, as opposed to trying, to do a tunnel kind of thing, or doing something different. I don't know what those cost differences would be. I know that this is kind of something that the property owner wants to get addressed. We could ask for some different costs to be looked at, to evaluate first and then make a decision. But I would ask that, if the property owner can get those costs together, that we would be willing to meet back in a special session so that he does not have to wait a full month. And we can do something virtually. If that would be an option.
I don't know of a company, a tree service company, that has the tunneling equipment.
I don't know.
Ms. Kale,
Yes.
I have a guy look at it and it would be 3,500 pesos.
So, okay, to take the tree down would be 3,500.
Yeah, a plumber came in and said it'd be roughly 15,000. Another one said 10. So I'm getting all different kind of prices because I was looking ahead until you guys meet. Because every time I use tiling, you got to plunge it, sometimes you don't even want, it's got to be get done.
Okay. But the price that you said from the plumber, that 15,000, does that involve?
No, that's just plumbing work.
That's just the plumbing work.
Yes.
Okay. And that's with the tree down?
No, the tree was another price.
No. But what I'm saying is that plumbing work would be if the tree were removed. That's not a cost if the tree is, if we say no to the removal of the tree and look for another option, relocate your line or do a tunnel or core underneath.
I don't know, what would that be?
Okay, all right, okay. So he does not have that cost.
I think that would be more expensive to do the tunneling.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
the other thing about putting it off, I don't know how he feels about this, but I think he's already experiencing issues with his sewer
Right.
So by putting it off, he could be dealing with backups.
That's what
especially
I
with
was
the
going to
rain.
say. If there's raw sewage going into the soil and the ground, that's pretty dangerous as well.
Okay.
My guess is that it's backing up into the house. It's not going
Yeah.
into the ground, but
It might be a combination. I don't know.
yeah. But
Okay. Well,
I would recommend tree removal, my opinion.
okay. Do you want to make that a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make that a motion that the tree be removed and meeting all the standard conditions. Just not to have this person go through
Okay.
this research that may not be fruitful,
Okay.
to find another way to. And if you could plant another tree somewhere close by, in close proximity, that would be
Okay.
a plus.
Okay. So that motion is on the floor. Is there a second to that motion?
A second.
Okay, Evan made the second. Any further discussion?
I'll just say I agree with Vince's outlook on it, that as much as the tree is healthy, I think that it's the best approach in this situation.
Right, I mean,
Okay.
Horrible
the
situation.
human factor, the impact to people, and I mean, a tree we can replant, even though it's a nice tree, and we don't want to see trees removed, and it'll take years to get another tree back to that size. But,
Okay. Yeah,
I think the other issue is probably a bigger issue.
okay. So if there is no further discussion, I'm going to ask for a vote. I think I might do a roll call vote on this one. I don't know I'll start with Amanda.
It's a sad eye.
Okay. Tebby?
Yes, I agree. I mean, it's a beautiful tree, but I think we need to let the homeowner proceed.
Okay. Vince?
Yes, I agree.
Karine?
Oh my. I just wish we had a little bit more time to kind of pursue different alleys. Like, maybe there's a way to, it seems like we are like at the end of like this person experiencing a very hard time, and I feel really bad for this person. But at the same time, I feel like if we had like a week or two, in advance to kind of go through this, I don't know when when this person reached out to you. I don't know what the date is on this email. But yeah, I'm just, what if I just don't vote? Is that okay? Because I cannot.
You can abstain.
Yes.
Okay. And Evan? Aye. Okay. So the motion is carried, Mr. Clement, to allow for the removal. I will be sending you out a letter confirming that, okay?
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Okay, all right, thank you. And I'm sorry we couldn't connect any other way.
Okay, thanks. And tell the group I said thanks, because I can't live through this much longer.
Okay, well, I'm sure they heard you, okay? Have a good day.
Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay. So that takes care of that. Then just real quickly again on the grant stuff, we're getting applications in. Kyla and I are gonna be reaching out to a couple of the members to start looking at some of those the locations. And any other circulation ideas you have, let us know. We can get copies for you of the application if you want hard copies to put anywhere. But they're starting to come back in, which is great. We're going to actually look at maybe taking a few of those because we have money in this year's budget to do plantings. So we might take, the first few and see if they're appropriate locations and get them taken care of this year earlier. The only other things I just wanted to go over with you is that we did get a complaints about some gypsy moths on Company Hill Path. And DPW.
I had a question about the tree applications.
Yeah,
Sorry. So is this first come, first serve, or is prioritized for areas that really need trees? And are you conditioning your offer for people to fill out these applications, saying that you are prioritizing?
we have not come up with a prioritization measure. Obviously, we do have to go out and look at these locations to determine their suitability. And it's a citywide offering. So we've looked at certain areas that we're going to focus on to try and get individuals, property owners, to commit to. So we've been doing a little bit of that with the aldermen.
Oh, so that's how you're doing it? So the aldermen are approaching specific areas. Are you sending them postcards or leafleting? Or is it just up to the alder persons?
Well, the alder people have been given copies of the applications, hard copies, that we have. And we've been, chatting with some of them as they're going around, asking them to promote this in some areas that we've identified using the inventory as having a lack of street trees. So hopefully they're out there on foot doing that. A couple of our commission members have offered to go out and do the same thing. We just have to get them organized.
And so but the applications are due in about half a month.
Yeah, half a month to a month. I mean, we're working through them right now, but yeah, I mean, the sooner people can get in them, the sooner we can start vetting them.
What are the number of applications you already have?
I don't have that file in front of me. Kyla just left. I think we probably have only about 25 right now.
20.
Maybe.
So you have about a quarter.
Yeah.
Of what you might plant. Okay. And I also just wanted to note that I put in the chat the places to find the street tree inventory.
I saw that. Thank you.
It's also just on the Tree Commission's website. So hopefully you all have that and can download it and be familiar with it, so that because it is the management plan. And I think some of you attended the original meeting where this was presented. Maybe not everyone. So thank you. I do really feel that it's important and I'm representing the CAC, that the local, that the areas that are really sparse with trees get priority.
Mm-hmm.
And so have all the aldermen offered to walk around?
They haven't come up and said that, but we've been sending them information. We've given it to them a couple of times so far. We've put it in their mailbox. We've sent them emails. So hopefully they are reaching out to their constituencies.
And is there some flyers that we can get from the city that we can also, like, I was thinking to leave some at the YMCA, for example, like some.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you want, I can have a bunch of them made up and for you. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that would be great. I feel like, especially like in the environmental justice, I feel like Midtown definitely needs more trees. And
Karine, how many do you think you would want?
It's to live at the YMCA. I would say like I don't know, 30 or 50 or something like this.
Okay, I'll get you 50 copies.
Are they the flyers or the actual applications?
They're a flyer with the application included on it. It opens up to the application.
And can tenants apply?
We need the property owner's commitment because the property owner is ultimately the responsible party.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, by the way, I'm glad that you mentioned that you were prioritizing based on canopy cover and the plan.
Right, we looked at the maps and identified the different areas that we want to try and really focus on.
Yeah.
We've contacted a couple of people in those areas too, who are working to do that.
Yeah, I did provide you with some examples of about 30 spaces. You know, it depends on the DP. In the end, you know, it depends on the DPW and if there's something in the way or another issue. But we really will expect that the money will be aimed more for, you know, within the right of ways of first.
Oh,
They're
right,
not-
yeah,
they're not
no,
go to private
absolutely.
lands. Yeah.
No, we agree, yeah, we agree.
Yeah, because we want to make sure that those, you know, trees are guaranteed for more than 2 years, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And what are the other, what is the what wards are the main wards?
4, 5, and 6 are the ones where you'll see the areas with where there's not a lot of coverage in like a couple of blocks. Okay. So just moving along, because I have to wrap this up shortly. Like I said, Company Hill Path, there was some reports of gypsy moths. DPW is addressing that. That was a complaint. We also got a complaint, not a complaint, but a concern from a resident of 38 Josephine, who had a tree and it had the maple tar disease and leaf scorch. And I don't know if you were familiar, but it seems like there's an awful lot of the maple tar disease going around this year. There's a little segment on the Forsyth Nature Center Facebook page about it, identifying it. It's a fungus. It will not kill the tree, but it is a fungus. And if you see it, the leaves need to be collected and disposed of properly, so that if you mulch the leaves, the fungus will appear in the spring and infect a tree or possibly more. So when you collect the leaves, they need to be bagged and disposed of at the curb and collected that way. Don't use them as mulch. But it's very prevalent this year. I don't know if it's just because of the weather, but I've been noticing a lot more this year too. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up to everyone's attention. I want to keep looking at the meeting time now that we're back to virtual. I know it's easier for people virtually, but ultimately we will be meeting back in person at some point. So I want everybody to kind of keep thinking about that. Maybe this second Tuesday is not a good date for some. You know, if there's another day of the week that might work, another week of the month that might work, what best time frames might be more suitable. I know there are a lot of evening meetings, and everybody's time is very much taken up these days with other things, but just kind of keep that on your radar, give it some thought. And, you know, if you have any suggestions, feel free to make them. I'm open to ideas and comments. Yes, Amanda.
When it comes to the gypsy moths, there's been some things circulating about them on some of the local nature sites and pages that I follow. Is there a way to get the way to dispose of them up on the Forsyth page as well? Because if you take them off and put them in soap water, then you can get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely. I mean, the Forsyth Nature Center Facebook page gets a lot of, they have a lot of followers and they get a lot of hits. It's a great place to post things. I can certainly talk to Mark up there, Mark D-Day, and ask him, you know, how we might be able to put a little spot on there. That's a good suggestion. And
in reference to the meetings, I know that while I was away and we became live and course, I come back and now we're not live. Which is crazy, sorry. I saw that you guys met at 3 o'clock and 3:30 is the earliest I could ever do.
Yeah, in the summer, that's what we used to do in the summer because the early hours, people like.
And summer's fine, but not September through June.
Right, no, we
Okay.
would be back to normal at 3:30, but then I know, you travel, Evan, it doesn't, needs more of an evening meeting as well. It would be tough. It's tough for him. So, we're looking at that and thinking, different dates maybe and times. So I have to turn my lights back on. It's driving me crazy. They go off if I don't move around too much. So that's really all I have. Our next meeting is October 12th. Again, we'll be meeting virtually now until after January. So January 15th is the cutoff date right now for virtual meetings. So meeting through January, obviously, maybe we won't meet in December with the holidays. We'll look at what we've got, what people, if we have requests or anything like that, but there's a possibility of not meeting that month, but that's it.
And if you wanted to put me on the agenda, I could report anything from the Franklin Street project discussion.
Okay.
Because that will happen right
Good
before
idea.
then.
And just a question, like, when I want to pick up the flyers, can I access City Hall or?
Yeah, what I made a note and what I'm gonna have is I'll have Donna make all the copies up for you, Karine, and I'll have her reach out to you when they're ready.
Perfect.
Okay? Yes, Evan.
Just a quick suggestion, because we have some, for the tree green project going on, and maybe in the future we can add some maybe either weekly or monthly news, now we have people reporting some the maple tar disease, and there's and so we can really have the people provide some solution for people and teach them how to take care of their trees. And I think it is going to really, because it's not for homeowners, not only they need to get a tree, but they have to, learn how to take care of their own tree. And I think in the long term, it's going to be help the city.
Right.
This tree project.
Yes, good idea. Anybody else? Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Nobody wants to adjourn?
I make the motion.
Debbie, thank
I
you.
second it.
And Amanda. Okay, we are adjourned at 4:45. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Cheryl.
See you next
Take
month.
care.